Welcome to Shelley Has Opinions, the hit podcast where the Chatfield girls try and guess their shy sister Shelley's opinion on a variety of topics. My name is Holly Chatfield Flanagan, and with me is
Shelley Chatfield Allison.
And we also have
Joelle Chatfield Miller.
And our sister expert for today is
Kellie Chatfield Whitcomb.
And finally, our special guest, the original Chatfield Girlo. We have
Joelle Walker Chatfield.
Yay!
Hello! That's our mom, guys. She's here. Hi.
Here, there with Julie.
Yeah, Julie's going to have a baby, and then our mom is there to help
to catch it.
Yeah, Mom, it's your responsibility. If Julie has her baby while we're recording, you have to catch that baby.
And then cut the cord with your fingernails.
Oh my gosh. We've discussed part of that scenario. I'm ready on all fronts.
Not the catching of the baby, just cutting the cord and being like, hope the baby catches itself.
It's not a bungee jump.
But it is a good thing that Mom's been here for the past few days because almost my entire family has been sick. So it's great that my mom can deal with it and I don't have to.
Yes. I'm happy to do it.
So, guys, I have some good news. Right before we started recording, I was reading a graphic novel to my children, and there were a lot of characters, and I had to use a lot of different voices. And one of the ones that I chose was, you know, the uncle in Mary Poppins? Who was also the guy who voiced the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland?
Yes.
The guy who sings, I love to laugh.
Yep.
Okay.
So I got to do one of those. I chose to do one of those voices for one of those characters. And you know what? It was fun. I had a lot of fun. And it's going to take everything in me not to do that during this whole podcast.
It's okay. You can do it.
Oh, Mommy, thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
Just like the rest of my life, I just was waiting your permission to do something.
Right.
So, everyone, I want to know what kind of cool voices that you use when you read aloud to people.
To people, like on the bus.
I don't know.
The only people I read aloud to, I used to be a teacher, so I did read out loud to a whole class full of people.
Did you use a teacher voice or did you do voices?
Okay, I read Where the Red Fern Grows.
How?
It was a huge mistake. And I used like a southern accent the whole time and then realized it does not take place in the South. But you know what? That's okay.
Is the beginning of the book like in the deep forest of Wisconsin?
I forget where it is. And I think maybe I thought that this place had a southern accent. And then when I mentioned it to like my teacher mentor, I was like, yeah, and I used this southern accent. And she was like, oh, well, okay.
That's a choice.
I'm like, well, cool.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm looking up where the red fern grows. Where does it grow?
Shelley, before the podcast recording, you were saying that your son doesn't let you read to him at all anymore.
I know. I think it's because it's too slow of an input process for books. My son likes to read extraordinarily fast, and then he likes to reread the book several dozen times. And so, but when I used to read to him, I actually, I can't remember any specific examples, but every once in a while, I would open my mouth and out would come a character voice, and I'd be like, this is the perfect voice. This is the greatest choice I've ever made. I didn't know I had this person inside me, but I guess I do. And then it would be like a magic moment, and then the next time I'd read the book and try to repeat that voice, gone. It was like only the spontaneity of it would create this beautiful...
You need to do like Jim Dale and record yourself doing it. And then right before you pick up reading again, you listen to the recording, say, what the heck does this character sound like? And do it again. And the magic will never end.
Now, he did the Harry Potter audiobooks, yes. Correct?
Uh-huh.
Harry Potter reading aloud to my children was my biggest reading aloud triumph because there are 5,000 characters and they all sound very different. But not so different that it, like, if you're reading Harry and Hermione and Ron, you really gotta sing out.
Yeah. Did you do an accent? That's the real question.
Of course I did. Look at me. I am a real actress.
I used to read to my son a series of books called The 13-Story Treehouse, which is Australian born and bred. And a new one just came out, and I was reading it today. And I wish I could, like, capture an Australian accent to read that book out loud to my son, but I couldn't.
Chell, how about you practice right here, right now?
No, thanks.
Just say some Australian words, and that'll get you started.
Oh, yeah.
Julie, it was in Oklahoma, so it's a Southern accent.
No. Kind of like if a cowboy swallowed some dirt. That's what Oklahomans sound like.
Yeah, I'd say almost like a Western-ish drawl-ish.
But the kids are not going to know the difference.
Well, the teacher didn't know the difference. So
I just picture everyone in Oklahoma singing to each other.
Yeah, you should have done it as an operetta.
Exactly.
Or, Julie, you should have I guess by that time I was married to Caleb, and my husband Caleb grew up in Oklahoma. You could have just done a Caleb voice, really loud.
That's the state dialect.
Kellie, do you read aloud? And if you do, what does your voice sound like?
I nannied for Shelley's son Jet, but then I also nannied for a couple other families. And so I would read aloud sometimes. I don't really like to do it because I zone out so I don't mess up, because I overthink things and I like add words where they do not belong. So I zone out. So a lot of the times, like, I would be like, oh yeah, I probably should do character voices, but I really don't want to. But like, I do, and especially for a time there, Jet loved the Penguin book. Not Mr. Popper's Penguin.
Tacky the Penguin.
Tacky the Penguin. And so there are lots of different penguin voices and whatever. And I remember that there's a little cartoon of Tacky the Penguin. So I kind of I stole from their voices.
Perfect.
Nice.
So I'd be like, Tacky is this way. And like, blah, 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 blah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not very original.
But you know what? 5-year-olds don't care.
Mom, when you were reading aloud to us, do you remember any like notable voices you would do?
I'm just sitting here trying to like stop the tears, the silent tears from rolling down my face, because I'm so proud of you guys for having voices. Because
I thought you were going to say you were crying because you don't know how to read.
No, I thought you were going to cry because you miss your babies.
no, yeah, all of that. And I do know how to read. But I didn't do voices when I read to my children. And because it's just not in my repertoire of abilities. And usually children's books all make me cry. And so I would start reading. I would be a good mom and I would start reading to my children before bedtime or whatever. And then I'd have to pass off the book to one of the other older girls so they could read to everyone because I was crying about this children's book. So that was my accent, I guess, is talking through my tears.
You know what? You didn't just cry with just children's books, because you would help me read a lot with like book reports books in like elementary school and middle school, because I was always just so bored or so busy. And you would cry at those too.
Those are intense too. Just think about the books that you read in middle school and high school. They're very tearful books.
Well, Mom, before we move on to the topic for this week, do you want to just give it a try? Do you want to just grab some reading material close to you and just really try it?
I can have Mom retell the story of The Digger and the Flower, which is Lukey's current favorite, and it's a tearjerker.
No, I can't even get started. No, don't make me do it. I think the only thing that I do is I can get soft and talk like this and gentle words, or I can get really excited like, yay, they're so happy. That's the accent that you get. So you either get soft and gentle or loud and happy or silent because the tears are quietly rolling down my cheeks.
Those are the 3 classic modes
So
of
the
reading
fact
a
that
children's
you all
book.
even consider doing accents, I'm just so proud.
Well, I'm proud of us too, because the small committee came up with an amazing topic for this week. Does everybody want to know what it is? There are 3 people on this podcast right now who don't know it.
The majority.
Whoa, a majority.
Yeah, I would
wild.
love to. Julie can watch the expression on my face when I hear it.
And our faces are inches apart.
We can Eskimo kiss right now.
Well, today's topic is karate.
Oh, man.
There's a very surprised mama over here.
I just want to say, hiya.
Thank you. That was very excited. That wasn't soft or cry.
It's a good read, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be doing the pro reasons why Shelley should like karate. Julie's going to be doing the anti reasons. And Kellie, as the Shelley expert in our family and the only person whose arms can do a karate chop, everybody else has broken arms. It'll make delivering Julie's baby really tough. Kellie is going to tell us what she thinks Shelley will choose. And Mom, you can just pepper in your thoughts and prayers, I guess, during... Are we ready, team?
Ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, Shelley, I think you should like karate because your body becomes the weapon it was always meant to be.
I was destined to become a weapon?
Everybody is destined to become a weapon. And let me tell you why. It's because I feel like my body is destined to become a weapon. And again, like we talked about last week on the podcast, empathy to me is assuming everybody feels exactly how I feel.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, by the way, I got a lot of good feedback about that. Everyone was like, ha ha ha. And I'm like, why are you laughing? So anyways, but I just feel like there's a reason that on my bucket list is punch someone in the face.
Uh-huh. Did you not know that, Mom?
Oh, no, I knew it, but I'm so glad that she owns it loud and proud.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm so shy and retiring.
Exactly.
I feel like my body was always meant to be a weapon. And if I learn karate, then I can harness that power into something stronger. And Shelley, if you took karate, you too could become a living weapon.
I'm going to have to think about that. I don't know if I'm destined to be a weapon or not. I've never foreseen that in like my destiny. The mages have never said so.
Well, that's my first point is living weapon. My second point is that karate teaches discipline and respect. That's probably why more people take it, and especially as children. Doing karate lessons is a trope of childhood. Mm-hmm. Everyone tiny is wearing that gi, you know?
Yes.
Everybody.
It's classic childhood fashion.
Especially like at a grocery store when your mom picks you up after karate, but you need to go get something for dinner.
Yeah, and then you totally make my husband want to die because you're walking through the grocery store barefoot.
Karate teaches discipline. Okay, let me just say this out loud. I have not taken any martial art lesson, much less karate lessons. So this is based on an amalgamation of hearing people talk about it on podcasts, watching a lot of stuff, and reading and listening. So this is all secondhand knowledge at best. Okay, everyone? So just know that I have heard that it teaches discipline. I've heard that it teaches respect, and I've heard that it makes you a living weapon. That's just what I've heard.
I mean, it is famous for all of those points.
But discipline, because you don't get to just hi-ya, hi-ya, hi-ya around the town every time you walk into your karate dojo. Like, that's just not allowed.
That'd just be madness.
And it teaches you respect because you have to respect your sensei, who is your teacher, who is a person you definitely can't hi-ya. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, Mom.
As your mother, I understand what you're saying.
Perfect. Everyone else who is not my mother thought that was surely cryptic.
You can't hire a teacher. What could it mean?
But it also teaches you discipline and respect because you learn to respect your own body, because not only does it make you a living weapon, it teaches you how to harness the power of your body for good. Famously, Jillian Michaels of The Biggest Loser fame, she is a fitness trainer, and she started taking karate, and her sensei pulled her aside and was like, I see you eating your Cheetos and Diet Coke before, what do you call it? A dojo meeting?
Yeah.
Hiya session.
A meeting of the Hayas.
Yes. And you're not respecting your body that way by doing that and then coming in here, and then your body can't do its best work hayaing. And so you need to learn to respect your body. And so she did. And then that was her very first step towards being a fitness trainer.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it teaches you to respect not only others, because you can't just go hayaing everybody, but also to respect yourself. So there's that. My next point is that karate gives some of the most classic pop culture entities of our time. Here's a list. Karate Kid, the video game Street Fighter, the actor Bruce Lee, and finally, the Jackie Chan Adventures on Kids WB.
Yes.
So good.
Now, that's my ace in the hole, because turns out we Chatfield Girlos love Jackie Chan.
How could you not, though?
Did you know that he owns a store of Segway, a Segway store?
Yes.
Yeah.
He gives one away on every movie he does now.
Aww.
Here's some other Jackie Chan information. Jackie Chan was a child actor. Did you know that?
I did.
I did.
I didn't. Aw.
Me neither.
Well, good. That's a majority of don't knowers. He's released 20 albums since 1984.
What?
Yeah.
Madness.
He went to the Hong Kong Opera School or something.
Oh, wow.
Jackie Chan?
Yes.
He's very talented and very well liked, and I think he's also broken every bone in his body.
Including his neck.
That wasn't on his Wikipedia, those things, so I'm glad.
There's a lot of bones in one's body.
Kelly, jump on that. Correct me.
Breaking all my bones in my body?
No, looking it up.
No, adding it to the Wikipedia.
I would be very surprised if Jackie Chan has broken both his femurs. Or
Well, Kelly's gonna fix that.
Uh-oh, Kelly's a
I'm
hitman.
gonna go after Jackie. No, Kelly.
Have fun in China, Kel.
Would you like to know one final fact about Jackie Chan that I liked?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm still laughing about Kelly being a
Julie
hitman.
can't breathe. She's laughing so hard.
I can barely breathe in the first place.
Here's my last fact about Jackie Chan. He teaches tourism management at Hong Kong Polytechnic University.
What?
I think I had heard
What
that
even
before.
is that?
It's like if you want to be a hotel boss, then you do it. And you take his class. And then you say, Jackie Chan. And he says, sit down or else I'll break both your femurs.
Yeah, he's a big proponent of bringing more tourism to China.
Also,
and stuff.
you have to figure he's traveled probably all over the world, and me being in hospitality, that would be very helpful in helping others know how to treat people who are traveling. So, bravo.
That's true.
Yeah. Kelly, please don't hurt Jackie Chan. He's such a treasure.
Well, apparently he's only had 18 injuries, and not all of them were breaks, but some of them were dislocations. So apparently I have some work to do.
One of the injuries was breaking every bone in his body. It was a terrible accident.
Who was
That
the
counts
other
as
kung
one.
fu guy, Holly, that you mentioned?
Bruce Lee.
Maybe he's maybe he's
I'm
the
on
one.
it.
Okay, thank
Kelly's
you,
gonna
Kelly.
go break all his bones.
Or I'm just gonna secretly have them like I'm gonna coordinate where they're gonna fight each other.
Good luck with that, since Bruce Lee is very dead. He's so dead.
he?
Yes.
Yeah, super dead for a long time.
So Kelly, it'll be so easy to go break all his bones. Just go find his skeleton somewhere.
Woo! Exhuming the body of Bruce Lee to desecrate his bones.
I'm pretty sure in China that's extra bad.
Oh.
Like,
Oh, forget it. Sorry, Bruce.
So, speaking of
Oh yeah,
Bruce
he died in 1973.
yes.
That would be even cooler though.
I was 9 years old.
they'd be real brittle.
You'd either have to do a horrible crime by desecrating a grave, or you'd have to invent a time machine and go back in time and then do a horrible crime of breaking all his
Maybe
bones.
that's how he died. Oh.
And if
Conspiracy
you guys
theory.
use the right accents, it could totally work. Like,
Whoa. Okay.
This has gone off
Like-
the rails.
like reading books, you know.
What kind of accent do you think will help us achieve this goal?
Obviously, I can only go loud, soft, and tears. So you got to come up with that on your own.
I think tears, just sadly, like quietly crying as you're breaking bones in someone else's body. Like, you don't want to, but you have to.
Okay, we gotta move on.
Yeah, what are we talking about again?
We're talking about just karate's good in pop culture. But speaking of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, karate, Shelley, I think you should like it because it is a gateway drug to other excellent martial arts. Technically, all martial arts are gateway drugs to each other. Because Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee were not solely karate artists. In fact, Bruce Lee famously started with Kung Fu,
Okay.
or Wing Chun, I think is what it was. And then Jackie Chan does all sorts and has taught all sorts of martial arts. So, Shelley, if you're looking to get into something really cool, like drunk fighting, what is it called? That one? Drunken Monkey. Drunken. If you're looking to get into that, but you're like, I just don't know where to start. I know. Karate. You're probably not going to find a dojo, Shelley, that is close to your house that teaches Hapkido.
What is that?
It's a type of martial art.
Okay. Then you're right. I haven't seen the sign that says Hapkido taught here.
But I bet you have a karate learning place around your neck of the woods. And I know I do. I have a few, not to brag. I mean, they're not mine. So I just like that they don't judge each other, those martial arts. You know, they kind of like, if you do one, you're like, I like this one, and I think I like other ones. And then the karate people aren't like karate chopping you before you get to the door.
There's not like a turf war, like taekwondo versus karate.
At least not as far as I can tell based on my knowledge of these things. So,
Got it.
which again is not firsthand. So maybe that's why I don't know, is because I have at one point tried to learn and then I got karate chopped in the head and I forgot.
Well, if there's not like blood running through the streets with your 3 dojos near you, then I think you're probably right. They're all cool.
So I like that. I have one final point, Shelley, as to why you should be pro karate. And I told Julie when we were talking about doing karate in general, I said, I really want to go pro. And I don't feel like I've done a very good job of being like, I really have admiration for people who do karate, even at like a very basic level, because like it does take a lot of discipline and it is very easy to not do karate, as I have shown over 34 years. Extremely easy.
It's so easy.
But it is really, just the doing of it can be hard. And so I have a lot of admiration for people who do it at any level, any belt. But I have one more point, Shelley.
Mm-hmm.
You should choose pro karate because after you learn it, you can join the MMA, and Joe Rogan will finally like you. MMA famously stands for mixed martial arts, which means any kind of martial arts, or any combination of martial arts, and boxing, which I don't think is technically a martial art.
I don't think so.
It is involved in MMA, and Joe Rogan, famous podcaster and star of news radio, and Fear Factor, which Shelley mentioned last week.
If Shelley did join, would she get a really cool name?
They don't. It's not wrestling.
Yeah.
I think we should add wrestling into the mix too, so that she can get
An MMA fighter versus like professional WWE wrestler would be wild.
Let's start this sport up.
Well, I will say that grappling and like Greco-Roman wrestling is an accepted style in MMA, I believe. But I don't know about cool, like, vinyl-y costumes and things.
Yeah, are there chair smashes allowed in MMA? Is that an acceptable karate move?
You fight in an octagon, and in that octagon, there are 0 chairs. 0 folding chairs, I think.
Can you do that crazy, like, Brazilian style, like, fight dancing?
I mean, I love watching it.
Is that allowed in MMA? I don't remember what it's called.
Capoeira.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of different styles, and there are some people who blend styles. Famously, Joe Rogan did judo, and judo, I think, sounds cool, and that's a martial art. I know it. 100%. It's on the list of martial arts when you look it up.
It is.
It is. And he now has a very famous podcast, and Shelley, his podcast is basically the most famous podcast, and I feel like if you choose pro karate, that is the step towards the next level for our podcast, because then he could be like, hey, there's this girl. She's really great at doing martial arts and MMA, mixed martial arts. And she also has a podcast like me, and we're podcast friends forever. And let's everybody download Shelley Has Opinions. So Shelley, please go pro karate so that we can have more listeners and fans. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, guys, you didn't like that. I loved it.
Well, I mean, it sounded like a business proposal. Like, it sounded like we'd almost, like, switched gears.
Instead of laughing, I wanted to shake your hand after that.
Yeah, I was holding back at Holly. I'm so proud of you.
For coming up with this great business plan where I make my sister learn karate and then join the MMA.
Exactly.
That's why everybody just wants their mom, like, in the back of the conference room when they are doing some kind of pitch. And then mom stands up and goes, I'm so proud of you.
And here's some cookies.
Which you're constantly giving us cookies. It's awful.
We made pumpkin chocolate chip cookies today, my friend.
Delicious. But Julie, will you tell Shelley the reasons why she should be anti-karate? And if you want, she can also be anti-pumpkin chocolate chip cookies, too.
I wouldn't stand for that.
Kick her out of the family.
Oh gosh. Oh, yikes.
Julie, the stakes are sky high right
now. Okay, Shelley. I also am coming at this topic from a place of ignorance.
All right. I'm so glad.
I'm the one who suggested it. Isn't that so cool that I'm like, hey, let's talk about this thing none of us really know anything about? I started thinking about it and saying, if I started learning karate, I feel like I'm not dedicated enough to, like, really get down and dirty and really learn karate. I think I would only learn enough to be a hazard to myself and others. And I feel like that's where a lot of people stop, where you're learning hayas and then you go out into the world.
What is that? Like, there's a quote that's like, someone who knows a little bit about something is more dangerous than someone who knows a lot, or something like that.
No, I think it goes like, it's better to be silent and then have people think you're a fool than to open your mouth and then confirm it. Or no. I think it goes 30 days, half September, April, June, and November.
I've said that a lot this month. How many days are in September? So, Shelley, learning a little bit of karate is dangerous for everyone involved. Also, karate teaches you impractical skills. Chopping boards with your hand? Who does that? Who needs to do that? Why don't you just get an axe and chop your own dang firewood?
Or be like Captain America and just rip it apart, Shell.
Oh, Captain America.
Remember that scene?
No, I don't remember that.
I also don't remember that.
Okay. So they're at Jeremy Renner's house, his secret house.
I thought he was chopping wood with an axe. I don't remember him ripping wood apart.
No, he was, and then eventually he like got mad or something, and then just ripped it.
Oh, I don't
And then
remember
Tony
that.
Stark was like, "Ee!" And then I was like, "It's okay, Tony Stark. You're still my favorite." Not even Iron Man, just Tony Stark.
I was glad when you
Oh my gosh.
Julie wished she knew some karate right then so she could hi-ya him.
Yeah.
That was what Thanos should have done all along, just karate chop.
Yeah, who's his sensei? Why didn't he have better fighting skills? Come on, Thanos.
Oh. Karate is famous for having lots of different colored belts.
Uh-huh.
Shelley is into fashion.
So she should be pro karate then, is that what you're saying?
Well,
I looked deeply into Julie's eyes when I said that.
Did that help or hurt, Julie?
it's just my mind is all a flutter. Don't know where to go. Oh gosh, I'm getting crazy eyes.
Mom!
So, okay, I do have 2 points concerning colored belts, and one of them is that that's not fashion conscious. When they were designing the colors of belts, they were not thinking about skin tones or time of year. What's in this fall, what's not. That's not fair.
That's true. They wear white gis even after Labor Day.
Goodness. And Shelley, you're so into fashion.
You know me, every season it's new wardrobe. I will not be cut dead in last season's colors, styles, anything.
But the first thing I was going to say about the colored belts is that there are so many different colors of belts. Shelley, how many do you know?
I know white.
Uh-huh.
I know black.
Uh-huh.
I know blue. I know green. I know orange.
Are you just making these up? Are you just naming colors that you know?
No. I'm not saying them in order, but I'm saying them, the ones that I know. Yellow, I think, is one.
I thought you were saying, Julia, are you making these colors up? Like, I don't know these colors. Are you making these up?
Here's something that sounds like a color. Chartreuse.
I'm just trying to picture the kids in the grocery store after their practice, what color they're wearing.
What about Blurple? I saw a Blurple car the other day and it made me really happy.
That sounds so awful.
That's a color Holly invented.
Okay, but let's talk about it. Shelley, that car that we saw when we were in Redlands
It was
with Dad.
100% Blurple. It's like the perfect name for the shade of blue purple that this car was. And I saw one here in Utah the other day. I was like, oh, it's Blurple. Look, Jet, it's Blurple. I was like so happy to see another Blurple car.
And you know what? Who knows? Maybe there is a Blurple belt in karate. And there's like, who knows how many colors of belts? It's unknowable. And I know there's like degrees of belts that you can get. So like, if you get a black belt and you're like, phew, I'm done. I know everything. You gotta get your second degree black belt. How many degrees can you get? 350?
Are they making you get them? These colors of belts and degrees of belts? Like, no, you can't stop now. You have to keep going.
Or else they'll hi-ya you to the moon. You guys didn't like that. So hiya you to the moon.
I'm just waiting for Kellie to throw in her expert knowledge on the Haya belts.
I want to say my moon joke really quick,
Okay.
please. I know they don't have color on the moon because when I saw the moon landing, it was just black and white.
That was my childhood.
No, that laugh made me feel bad.
Holly, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're strong.
No, this is what you say to a big loser to give them a pep talk.
No, you didn't let Mom finish all those
Fierce.
things, but your moon jokes need a little work.
You need to get like your second or third degree belt in moon jokes.
Kelly, just say your thing that really adds to the conversation instead of detracts from it like I did.
Well, originally it was only 3 colors, but now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors.
Wow.
See, unknowable.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to decide if I want to say this point.
Does it have a lot of curse words? Because if so, please don't.
I would have said it if Mom weren't sitting right next to me.
Go ahead.
It does have a lot of curse words.
I'll close my eyes and pretend. Okay, go ahead.
Julie, use one of your accents. Mom will never know.
Okay, I'll just go to my last point. When I pitched this idea to Holly, I formed it as karate/martial arts. And you know what?
Mhm.
That's not fair to all the other martial arts. Karate overshadows many other martial arts, if not all, and it makes ignorant people like myself use them interchangeably. If I were to see some kung fu going on and I said, "Hey, they're doing some pretty cool karate," that would just show how ignorant I am. And that's not fair to karate or whatever other martial art I'm seeing that I'm not understanding. So, Shelley,
That's true.
just don't acknowledge any martial arts, especially not karate, so that you don't show how ignorant you are.
So either I need to just say like I enjoy this martial art I see, or I need to learn like extensively about all martial arts so I know them all by sight.
Yeah, and we don't have time for that. So just let it go, Shelley.
A side note, I just read Kung Fu Panda to Lukey.
On that note, I think it's time for us to head over to our Shelley expert. Shelley, I feel like you have not gotten a ton of information from either side today. But luckily, we have an expert who is not only an expert on every single martial art, apparently, because Julie said that's the only way to know one martial art is to know all of them.
Uh-huh.
Also, an expert on Shelley. Shelley, you've known Kellie for so long. Repeat after me. Say, yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
Kellie, repeat after me. Say, I think Shelley will go pro karate.
This sounds like trickery.
Yeah.
So, Kellie, what do you think Shelley will choose about karate?
I think Shelley will choose pro because, Shelley is so active. And with all the information I have from Jackie Chan, from all the times that I've been forced to go bounty hunt him or whatever.
You have to get close to him before you can really set it out.
Yeah, so I've been in more karate movies than you even know.
Oh my
Because
wow,
I've worked
gosh.
with him so much and, we're growing a bond so that I can hi-ya him later.
That's going to make it harder. Just like you don't name the pig that you're going to slaughter on your farm. You shouldn't name your Jackie Chan.
But all my pigs are named on my farm.
All my pigs are named Jackie Chan.
Or Kellie wants to hurt him not only physically but also emotionally. He'll be like, but Kellie, we were friends.
Yeah, he was the third person I told that I was pregnant, by the way.
Wow.
He's going to give me a segue.
Gosh.
For the baby.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, so I think Shelley is going to go. Wait, which one did I say?
You said pro.
Bro.
Wait, is that really what you think? Or is Holly just influencing you?
I'm an influencer. You can't, like, don't.
There's a voice. There's a voice.
That's the book. That's the voice I should have used to read all the books to my children. Oh my gosh, guys.
No, that's the voice you should have used for Hermione.
It was the best of times, and it was the worst of times.
Call me Ishmael.
Julius Caesar.
The famous opening line of Julius Caesar.
Oh, gosh.
Y'all, I'm sweating from laughing so much.
I got the laugh sweats.
Holly's gonna have a hard time editing this.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm so proud of each of my girls.
Okay.
Here's a cookie.
Okay. I love you so much, Mom. You have to stop saying that because I have to keep cutting it out because you've already said it 5,000 times.
Oh, by the way, I have the Bruce Lee answer.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, did you know Bruce Lee only actually broke his back, and then 3 years later, he died from an allergic reaction?
Oh.
To a broken back. I also have that allergic reaction.
Oh, that's sad.
I mean, it is sad. I shouldn't have made a joke. I'm sorry. Bruce Lee.
We did joke about digging up his bones, so
I know. I feel like we really don't come off well. Like
We're gonna get an email or like a call or something and be like, "Hello."
or like a call from the Secret Service saying we're sincerely watching you all because you talked about horrible crimes.
red flag, red flag.
We also talked about like cannibalism a few episodes
We
ago.
talk a lot
and-
about so many wild things on this podcast.
Now is the time we've all been waiting for, the opinion of the MVP of this podcast, the most Valley podcaster. Julie, I did that just in case you hadn't had your baby yet, who you're naming Valley, because I'm going to let you adopt Shelley.
Aw, that's so sweet.
So she's the most Valley podcaster because now her name is Valley.
Oh, well. Do I still have to treat Shelley like a newborn baby?
And you have to name your new baby Shelley. We'll do a name swap.
This is going to cause a lot of confusion.
So, Shelley, what do you think about karate?
Well, I'm also coming to this opinion from a place of ignorance. We'll just start that off. Everyone except Kellie is not knowledgeable about this topic very much. I have enjoyed a lot of martial arts movies in the past.
How? Why is that, Shelley?
How?
I mean, because like Holly said, they are kind of everywhere.
And?
And Surf Ninjas was one of our favorite movies growing up. They do a lot of martial arts in there. And I am married to someone who loves martial arts movies.
Yes.
And we watched, one of our very first dates was watching a martial arts movie. It was different. But I mean, the movie was so good, and I tried not to cry on like one of my very first dates with this cute boy from work.
Is that when you fell in love with him?
Was when you tried not to cry.
No, it wasn't when I fell in love with him. But it was a good movie, and I was like, oh, maybe I like these movies. So I have watched a lot. So they are everywhere. And I mean, what I know about karate is, yes, it is famous for teaching discipline and respect to children's and adults. But I would say probably here in the US, lots of kids. I'm still, the jury's out on whether or not my body is meant to be a weapon. I don't know that for sure. It could be though, I guess. And having respect for your own body, harnessing, like learning respect for your body, that is also something it is known for. And that is good, to learn how your body works and to respect it. There's probably some other ways to do that. I don't think karate is the one exclusive way. There may be other like physical exercises you could do, but I don't know. That's also, the jury's out on that. Maybe karate is the only way. It is a gateway drug to other martial arts. I guess.
Gateway drug?
That's what Holly said.
I'm hilarious.
But I don't want to join the MMA, even if it's the only way you guys will like me.
No, not us. Joe Rogan.
Oh, okay. Well, the thumbnail for his podcast is so scary.
He has a third eye and he's making a crazy face.
Yeah, and I'm too intimidated by him already. And I'm not sure how successful I could be in the MMA circuit, being 5 foot 1/2 inch and starting learning martial arts as an adult. I think I'd have to join the like over 60 category, like years down the road after I've had practice. Is there a seniors MMA circuit?
Oh, that would be so crazy.
Secret underground, like rest home MMA fight clubs.
By then, Joe Rogan will be dead, and then this business venture will mean nothing.
I guess that's true. I need to go real fast if I'm going to learn and have Joe Rogan respect me. Hopefully, if I choose pro on this, I will be, what is it called when you're very good at something?
A savant.
Yes, hopefully I'm like a karate savant. And just, I didn't know. Because I don't know if my body is a weapon yet, but maybe it is in the cards for me. Maybe destiny's calling me. I just haven't been listening
This
yet.
is your wake-up call, Shelley.
Maybe this is, but I mean...
Shelley, can I interrupt and say, while I was gathering my points, I legitimately almost convinced myself to start taking karate lessons, and I will do that with you if we want to find out together if our bodies are meant to be weapons.
I know I'm just going to say, I guess I know my body's not going to be a weapon ever. Okay, Julie's con points, though. I mean, anti-points. Okay, this is going to be one where I'm not sure I'm going to be able to come down on one side or the other, because I agree with Julie that I don't know if I'm dedicated enough to learn. I also know I am afraid to be punched and kicked in Hayat. I know that destiny is not saying you want to get punched and kicked and Hayat, because I bruise so easily.
You're a sweet little peach.
I just bruise so easily that if I started... Okay, I was in a play in high school where I did a lot of physicality, and I had a teacher legitimately ask me if I was being abused because I was so bruised.
I remember that.
And so if I start taking karate, then I could say, yes, I am being abused.
And I'm paying to do it.
And I'm paying for the privilege. I think some of the skills are impractical, like Julie said. Like, yes, I am not chopping wood very often for my life in general. I don't need to learn how to do it with my hands.
But are you waxing on and waxing off?
I'm not waxing on or off. I'm also not making surfboards out of trees on the beach.
That's less karate. That's more surf than ninjas, you know?
That's true. But Kwansu dudes, I don't need that skill in my life. The most I know about any martial arts is Taekwondo. My son took 3 lessons. And yes, the gi, fashion, high fashion, and the belts. I mean, a little impractical to have so many belts in your closet, but, you know.
I have a cool question that's a real question for anyone who might know. When you upgrade in belts, do you have to wear the previous belts?
No, I don't think.
Like all at the same time?
I think you just wear your current belt status.
Yeah.
I would love a person wearing 7 belts.
Okay, well, that's what I was thinking would look really cool, like very fashion.
Yes.
They would look like the Stay Puft Man.
No, it would go like up, up, up.
No, they'd look like they were wearing like a beautiful corset.
A rainbow-colored corset.
Or you could wear them on different parts of your body. Like one goes around the head and one goes like on each thigh, and then
One you wear like a
you could use
necktie.
one as a weapon.
And
Yeah, that's where nunchucks came from, is all your spare belts.
yeah, and then you could just slap your opponent to death.
Wait, I missed almost all of that. Julie, can you translate?
You can slap your opponents to death.
With the belt?
I don't think murder is
okay.
the goal of any martial art.
Then you could just slap him silly. How's that?
Oh, I love silly.
But as for Julie's other point, I think I would. I think I do show my ignorance, because I do feel like sometimes I use karate as like a general brand name.
A catch-all.
Yeah, like any martial arts I see, I would probably just think like, oh, that's cool karate, even though I know that's not true. But I don't. Again, I do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of every martial art, so I cannot tell the difference from just looking at a bout. I don't know all the names of all the things. So I am I am anti karate for me. I just don't think I would like it. But I like and respect other people for doing it. And if I could have made my son stay in Taekwondo, I would have. I would have made him take karate, because that's the gateway drug. And that's what you want to do, is introduce that kind of stuff to your kids. And if I could have forced him to do it, I would have, because I would love him to learn that kind of like discipline, etc. However, for me, no thanks. I don't want to be hurt for fun.
Are you afraid to go so hard con because you're afraid someone that's in karate is gonna come and like get
No,
you?
it's because I'm not like, I don't look at karate and go like, ew, gross, or like boring or anything. Like, I definitely respect the like style of it. Like, when Jet was going to McKinley, when my son was going to my elementary school last year, there was a school night where they did like a karate, one of the karate schools nearby did a showcase. And it was so fun to watch these little kids just like do things that I, as an adult, would be too afraid or just unable to do. And so I just think like, wow, awesome for them. But for me, no thanks. My body is not made to be a weapon. My body is scared to be a weapon. My body, even if destiny is calling me, I'm gonna just ignore. Because
Straight to voicemail, Destiny.
please leave me alone. Straight to voicemail. And since I haven't set up my voicemail yet, Destiny will not get through.
You've been avoiding setting it up because of Destiny.
I just know Destiny will not stop calling me.
All about karate.
Shelley, I just got an email and it's from Jackie Chan and he's crying right now.
Oh, Jackie, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for what Kelly's going to do to you later.
Or right now. Jackie, turn around.
Kelly's recording this live from China.
Well, Shelley, thank you for sharing your opinion about karate with us. And now we are going to move on to our segment, Peanut, Butter, and Shelley. Peanut, butter, Shelley. And in this segment, Shelley, who is an excellent cook and baker, gives us a little bit of recipe-ish. Ish?
Ish.
So, Shelley, what recipe do you have to share with us today?
Well, here in my neck of the woods, it has been cold and rainy and gray all weekend, and it's been really like the kind of weather that all I want to do is like be cozy and snuggle on the couch and watch Pride and Prejudice and
Oh my
you know
gosh.
and stuff. But also just like eat warm and cozy foods. Like, so I was thinking, what is warm and cozy? So this is a recipe that's for warming your day and your heart.
Oh.
It's easy sweet potato and black bean burrito bowls.
Yum, yum, yum.
Oh.
I took it from a website called Chelsea's Messy Apron, and I'll have Polly post the recipe. But here's the recipe. I'm going to do this via song because it just sounded more warm and cozy that way.
Oh, okay.
Sweet potatoes, ba ba ba. Add 4 cups or thereabouts, and then red bell peppers, lady in red. I don't know anything in that song besides that
You don't need to know anything more than that.
tiny half of a line. So 2 bell peppers, 2 red bell peppers. Add a 1/4 cup oil, make it all so it's good.
That's good.
And then spice up your life, add paprika and chipotle, spice up your life, add some salt and then some pepper, spice up your life. Aww. And then I'll just end it there. Let's see. I see a can of beans and they're all really black. Add that whole can of beans so they are really black.
Ah.
Wait, what's that song?
It's like I see a car or I see a painted door or no, something like that. It's like an old
Yeah, it's
song.
like 60s.
I like.
It's in the 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a song I really like though. Add it to charred corn and brown basmati rice, or use cilantro, lime, onion, or guac. Then add the dressing. It tastes really good. I'll list the ingredients, but not in this song because it's too long. But there's a sauce that goes on top, and then it's all good, and you cook and you eat it and you like it.
That's such a fun, interactive recipe.
I seriously am going to eat that.
But yeah, it's really, really good. And I'll send the recipe so that you all can eat it and just be really happy. Unlike me singing all those songs, why did I do that to myself?
I liked it. I loved it, Shelley.
I couldn't
Yeah,
think
you
of how
did
to make it
great.
funny.
You made it funny just by being yourself.
Because you're so stinking funny.
Thanks, Mom. Do I get a cookie?
Yes, you
I'm
do.
just sitting
I'm
here
so
crying
proud
about
of
how
you.
proud I am of you. Well, this has been our segment, Peanut Butter and Shelley. Shelley Gang, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. This hopefully is going to be the last episode before our sister Julie has a baby. And because of that, the next few episodes are going to be a little bit different because she's having a maternity leave, a much-earned maternity leave. And speaking of maternity leave, our mom is going to leave. She's not going to be on the next episode either. Mom, thank you for being on this episode with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for letting me.
Oh, you're welcome. And also, I did promise last time that there was going to be someone pregnant on this episode. Is it you, Mom? Are we going to get a new sister?
I hate to disappoint you. It's not me.
Oh, no. Well, Shelley Gang, if you want to write our mom some fan letters encouraging her to have another baby, you can go to our website, shelleyhasopinions.com. That's SHELLEY, hasopinions.com. And there you can find our contact information, find our social media, and also look at pictures of us when we were babies. We're so cute
You
babies.
are so cute.
Thanks, Mom. But Shelley Gang, mostly we just want you to let other people know that they should listen to this podcast. I recently heard from a friend that my sisters are really funny. And I was like, what about me? And then she said, yeah. And I was like, okay, then you're right. They are funny. Because if she had said, I would have been like, no, they're not funny. None of us are funny. Misery loves company, and Three's Company. Three's Company too. That's just a word association game I like to play with myself sometimes. Yeah. And with that, thank you, and I love you, and goodbye. Bye. Love you. Bye. Gosh dang it, Shelley. Where are you?